Hello, everyone. My name is Danny Lubasic. I am the Director of Business Development for Bannister Lake. I'd like to thank you all for attending our presentation and Bannister Lake's pitch of our Chameleon solution. Just as we start, of course, kind of obvious, a little bit about the company. We're obviously Canadian. We're all attending this webinar, Canadian company, and we're proudly Canadian. We've been in business for over 25 years. We're not a new startup, and we've established our business, our roots, if you will, in broadcast television. Both the clients and the projects we work on are high profile. They are national level products. And of course, 24/7 reliability required for our broadcast television. The technology that I'll be showing you in the solution is actually with emerging into new markets with, we're going to talk about digital signage a little bit further into the presentation and how we're expanding into that. And again, digital signage has kind of grown as new in the last few years. But the problem that we're going to see, or the problem that we have today and what we're trying to solve is this increasing demand for real-time data. So far today, we've seen some presentations that involve a lot of the real-time video and delivering that to different places. All well and good, but there's additional content that we have, and our audiences are demanding to have access to this data immediately. Is it breaking news, headline news, news of the day, whether it's coming from our traditional news organizations, the BBC, AFP, the DPA, or even some of the new media outlets that we have. There are these news organizations where people want to get their information from. Of course, sports scores, what's going on with the different leagues, weather information, the weather forecast for where I am, as well as where I might be traveling. From finance to stocks, as well as, of course, social media. This is, social media is actually now delivers some of the news. Actually, people do go to social media to get some of their information and not just our traditional news sources. So obviously another source where our audiences are demanding to receive this kind of information. Again, different types of sporting event. Off-track betting has a lot of data and information that needs to be managed. Elections, election information, delivering that content. Calendar events, if you're a venue and running different sporting events, as well as traffic and congestion within the city. So of course, our audiences want all of this data and they want it in real time. They're just used to having it instantly. And the other problem that we're faced with is that there's just so much of this coming from so many different sources. How do we organize this? How do we put it all together? And this is where Chameleon comes in. Chameleon is a centralized web interface, a cloud-based solution. In what we do is aggregate all of these automated data sources that our customers might want. Some customers want to focus and they only use a few of some of the many topics that I've sort of shown here, but of course they have access to pretty much anything that they have here. Along with automated sources, of course, we're always needing to add our own content. If we're branding our own channel, we might want to be putting in some of our own messaging. So if there's the ability for users, and as it's a web-based system, users from any location can log into the service just through any browser. So it's platform independent, PC, Android, Mac. As long as you have a browser that you can connect to the data, you have access to your content. Once this content has been centralized inside of Chameleon, you can now organize it for different playlists and provide it as visuals. So what we're doing here is visualizing our data or content. Visualizing it to a broadcast example, L-bar type of screen, where we're showing our viewers a variety of information. Some of them might be wanting the headlines. So down here we have at the bottom some headlines, whether it's a ticker format or a banner format. Some people might be looking at the news. Well, someone else might be interested in the weather. And here we've been able to visualize all of this data and content simultaneously on the screen. On the right-hand side, you can even see the incorporation of some social media, calendar events that might be going on, stock market information, as well as some branding down in the bottom right corner. Now, you're not stuck with just any one type of visual. So our customers can create whatever type of visualization for their data and content. Here you can see a lot more detail for the stock market information. You can also see traffic cameras that they loop through. And the visualization of this data is not just for broadcasters. We're starting to see more and more of this in the world of digital signage. So whether you're a venue showing concession stands or train stations showing the transit and the schedule information, we're seeing more and more of these displays, and Chameleon provides our customers with simple ways of managing all of that data and content in an organized fashion. I mentioned that our roots come from our traditional broadcast market. So some of our examples, and again, the tradition for Chameleon has been our news market. We've also, again, covered elections and sporting events. So of course, sports scores, whether it's in-game, so in-game and in progress scores, as well as of course, finals. And on the branding side, whether we're reading schedules or simply branding our channel and providing some logos. The new and emerging market that I mentioned is the digital signage market. We're seeing more and more venues, stadiums, different places where they can actually put in these flat screens and dynamic displays. What Chameleon does is it allows us to drive data and content to captivate the audiences that are looking at these screens. Chameleon has participated the last couple of years with the US Open Tennis Championships, where we were delivering the results from the different court matches throughout the competition, throughout the event. It's a 2-3 week event. So screens throughout the facility. We have Global Television, who has a sort of side channel where they do outdoor displays, and they utilize a lot of sponsorship in these displays, as they have a captive audiences waiting for the train, looking up at the content that's on the screen, gives them the ability to increase their sponsorship revenue. Another growing market, and something I'm going to talk a little bit more about, is esports. Esports is a growing event, so this electronic gaming that we're seeing, and there's a lot of data and content. Chameleon helps our customers manage that content and visualize it, and visualize all of this in real time. So you can imagine our audiences and these kids are expecting this stuff all to happen in real time. Bit of a hybrid is, of course, OTT, or over-the-top television, where what Chameleon does is, again, supplements the data, supplements your existing content with extra stuff. So for example, our sports fans, if they're looking for betting information or stat information, that can all be provided through OTT, and Chameleon can help manage that content and data for you. Advantage, of course, with Chameleon is its return on investment. By centralizing itself with all of your data and allowing you to visualize it, you can actually deliver more real-time data and content with less people. Your staff can manage this content from, again, anywhere in the world with this cloud-based solution. So again, during times of COVID, you can still manage your content, your channel without restriction. Further, of course, we have captivated audiences, eyeballs on the screen. The more engaging we can make things with our data, real-time data and information, again, you have more people that are looking at the screens, gives you revenue opportunities by creating sponsors, putting up sponsor logos or other information on air. So just in summary, Chameleon is kind of the only data solution that kind of bridges both broadcast and digital signage. We aggregate unlimited data sources, and this is again the big problem that we're solving: too much data from too many sources. So we aggregate that and provide a very simple interface for our customers to be able to manage that content and provide it. And of course, there is revenue possibilities with creating additional sponsorship from the screen revenue, or from the screen real estate that we provided. That concludes my presentation. I'd like to thank everyone for the opportunity to present to you today. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at sales@Bannister Lake, or you can visit our website, bannisterlake.com.